Hi, welcome back to the Blind LP of Eagle Eye Mysteries in London. We are back with Jennifer and we are about to start the third last case. It's called Case of the Sightseeing Spy. I just recovered from a fever, so my voice might be a bit weird, but hopefully it'll be okay. Actually, I think it will kill my throat. I've always said that Eagle Eye Mysteries is the most difficult to voice out of all the LPs, since you have to voice everybody. What on earth, Uncle Basil? Azuzor, there are no these around? What? Azu? Okay. What? Uncle Basil, you're mumbling. Can you speak up, please? Although, sir, there are no spies around. Okay. What is going on? I still can't understand you. No, I got it. Wait one moment. Here. Uncle Basil, this is silly. Writing notes instead of talking? It says, are you and Stakaze sure there are no spies around? That's how you pronounce my name? Spies? There are no spies in here, Uncle Basil, just Stakaze and me. That's a relief. When spies are around, you always have to watch what you say. They might be anywhere. They might be anyone. And I can't let them know you're on their trail, okay? You see, Aunt Miranda called. She's at Parliament and she says she needs help uncovering a spy. Like in my book, Agent Halliday is missing. The enemy spy, you see, is a flower girl in Covent Garden, and we'd better hear that story some other time, Uncle Basil. If Aunt Miranda needs help, we'll get over there right away. Oh, it's already killing my throat. Oh no. This is a rare place to be. You know, Stakaze, I know a little bit about spies from some of the shows I've seen. Spies are Spies are people who pretend to be someone else, like James Bond, so they can secretly find out stuff. Governments use spies to gather information about other countries. Spies need quick wits and lots of courage, and they need to be good actors to avoid being caught. Spy stories are very popular themes for fictional books and movies. The most famous spy in the world is British, James Bond. See? I wasn't expecting her to really call him out. Okay. In the James Bond stories, he often has to go somewhere and pretend to be someone else. A scientist maybe, or a professor. But every time he does something that's not what a scientist or professor would really do, he risks being caught. Okay. Hi, Mr. Sneed, why are you here? Well, here we are in the House of Commons. When Parliament is in session, the members of the House sit in these benches. Above us is the Strangers' Gallery. Strangers in this case meaning visitors. Now, if you'll walk with me over here, I'll point out the speaker's chair. What? Is he holding a tour? How I allow your Aunt Miranda to talk me into these shenanigans, I do not know. Now it's spies and cloak and daggers, slinners. Right here in the House of Commons. Wow, what's the full story, Mr. Sneed? Those people, 3 people standing near Aunt Miranda have all just arrived from other countries. They are here for a conference on the environment. But Miranda has learned that one of them is a spy, okay? The people invited to the conference all work to save some natural resource in their countries, but one of those people was not invited and is pretending to be someone who was. Whichever one it is doesn't actually live in the country he or she claims to have come from. We learned that the spy actually came into Britain from somewhere else, through France. Your Aunt Miranda and I hoped one of them would say something that would give him or her away, but I think they've sussed out that she's a reporter. She wanted me to ask you, will you follow these suspects around? Maybe one of them will say or do something to prove he or she isn't who they say they are. And then we can stop the person from disrupting the conference. In the meantime, I'll get us together some relevant material at the British Library. Meet me there later. Now I must go. If we spend too much time together, the spy may get suspicious. Aunt Miranda? Hello, children. Are you here on a tour of Parliament? If you have any questions, you should talk to the white-haired man over there. He's able to talk about things much more than I am, if you catch my meaning. Did you get that, Stakaze? Aunt Miranda is pretending she doesn't know us. Let's play along. Thanks, lady. Sorry to bother you. Yes, we're touring Parliament right now. We came from America and stuff. Yeah. But perhaps later we'll go to Bond Street. Huh. Yes, that's right near St. James Street. You're most definitely on the right track. Good for you. Goodbye. Did you catch all that, Stakaze? Together we said James Bond. And she said we were definitely on the right track. She obviously can't talk to us. The spy must be in this room. We need to talk to the white-haired man. He's our contact. Well, I already talked to him, so it's fine. As I was saying to our colleague here, excuse me, sir, I've forgotten your name. Quite all right. I'm Mr. Erickson from Iceland, and I've just had the pleasure of meeting this young lady here. Miss Beamish from Belize. Do you know where that is, Mr. I am Mr. Figueira. I don't know how to pronounce that. Mr. Figueira, and I am a Portuguese citizen from the Azores Islands. Yes, Miss Beamish. I know where Belize is. In Central America, is it not? Next to Mexico and Guatemala. Well, friends, the conference starts tomorrow. Do any of you plan to go sightseeing today? I am about to leave for Oxford. Yes, sightseeing sounds like fun. I thought I would journey to see the ruins at Tintagel. And I simply must see Stonehenge. Good to meet both of you. See you tomorrow. All right. I guess we have to go there. Well, Stakaze, we have our choice. Who should we follow first? Mr. Figueira to Oxford, Miss Beamish to Stonehenge, or Mr. Erickson to Tintagel? Tintagel. You know what? Hang on. Oh, man, I accidentally closed it. Tintagel. Since... You know what? We'll go for Tintagel first then. I know that King Arthur probably never lived at Tintagel. Did I just forget how to pronounce it? What? Oh no, my keys are stuck. It's a beautiful old ruin. Tintagel helped inspire the fabulous legends of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table because Geoffrey of Monmouth used Tintagel as his setting when he wrote down those legends in about 1136 AD. Wait, Tintagel helped inspire... Okay. My name is Mr. Erickson, by the way. I've just arrived from Iceland. I certainly enjoy the sunny, warm weather here in Britain. No. I believe Iceland and Greenland. Greenland is colder than Iceland, isn't it? Greenland has more ice? Or something like that? I'm not sure, but I thought that was the case. Iceland, Greenland. Hang on. Give me one moment. Again. Man, I have a lot of editing to do. I'm back. I was right. If you just do a search, just do an image search on Iceland and Greenland. Just put Iceland, Greenland. You will see the difference. Iceland has lesser ice than Greenland. Iceland is in fact green. So, yeah. Suspicious. I guess you would Coming from Iceland, you seem to know a lot about old stories and legends.
Yes, storytelling is a tradition where I come from. It has been for over 1,000 years. They say many of the old Norse legends would have been lost, except for Icelandic storytellers who kept the stories alive over the centuries. They say many of the old Norse legends.
Iceland sounds like a pretty cold and bleak place, Mr. Erickson. Is it really that way? What's it like in Iceland?
It's not so bad. About 1/10 of the island is glaciers, but there are places of incredible beauty, and for heat, we don't burn wood, we use volcanoes. What? Geothermal energy keeps about 80% of our homes and businesses warm all year around.
What brings you to England, Mr. Erickson?
Fish. You see, Iceland depends on fishing. So it is important that we learn to plan how many we catch. If people take too many fish from the ocean, we may get rich today, but we will be poor tomorrow when there aren't any fish left at all.
That's really interesting, but hey, is the time on your watch correct? If so, we need to hustle and to catch our train.
You mean is my watch set on England time or on Iceland time? It doesn't really matter, you see, they're both the same. So you'd better hurry. Goodbye.
I don't know, man.
Okay, let's go to Oxford.
Good idea. Let's find out why Mr. Figueira is going to this famous university. Here's Mr. Figueira Stakaze. I wonder why he's waiting in this empty classroom. He looks pretty bored.
Well, if you come for this lecture, you're about an hour early, just like me. I flew in today from the Azores. I don't know how to pronounce that. And I forgot to reset my watch. The actual time here in Britain is an hour earlier than what my watch says, so I'm stuck here, waiting.
Pardon me, mister, but where are the Azores?
They are islands west of here and also south. They are about midway between Europe and North America, which has made them important. Ships and planes often stop to refuel at the Azores. I love sailing ships. I must also try to see that beautiful windjammer Katisak. While I'm here, she belonged to Portugal at once upon a time, and many people in the Azores are Portuguese. I should introduce myself. I am Mr. Figueira, and I'm here in England for a conference and to give a talk about the farming techniques we use in the Azores. Our volcanic soil is very fertile. Huh.
What kind of a conference are you attending? Is it all about farming?
Actually, I cannot tell you. It's a very hush-hush thing. What?
I think we will need to depend on Mr. Sneet at the end. I can understand why Miss Beamish wants to see Stonehenge. It's one of the great ancient building sites in the world. That's Miss Beamish. She's sightseeing at Stonehenge just as she said she would. What's up?
Most impressive. The stones certainly seem to have a power to them, don't you think? The people who built them must have thought this place was quite special.
Yeah, and to bring those huge stones here and put them up like they did, that was a lot of work. I'm surprised that people could do all this without trucks and tractors and stuff.
Well, you should come to my part of the world. There you could see tall pyramids and lost cities that measure over 50 square miles in area. All of them built over 1,000 years ago.
That would be so cool. Where do you live?
My name is Celine Beamish and I'm from Belize. It's a small country in Central America on the Yucatan Peninsula next to Mexico and Guatemala. And the Mayan ruins in that area are quite impressive. They have pyramids, though, do they? The Mayans had built a great civilization beginning about 1000 BC, but by the year 900 AD it had collapsed so completely that huge cities were completely lost and forgotten in the jungle. We wonder now if the Mayan civilization failed because it cut down too many trees. You know, the Mayan people have a saying, whoever cuts the trees as he pleases cuts short his own life. In their language, tree, sap and blood are the same word.
Your English is very good, Mr. Beamish.
Miss Beamish. In fact, you sound more English than Stakaze and I do. Oh, my bad. Well, my English should be good. After all, that's the official language of Belize. Okay. I'm not sure whether we found out anything useful from that. Alright, Mr. Snake. Show me the deal. Oh, hey. Somebody's there. Our Uncle Basil.
I hope Mr. Sneed has pulled together some information for us. And look, Uncle Basil's here too.
I heard our three suspects say they were from Iceland, the Azores and Belize respectively, so I prepared little packets of information about each of those countries.
Gee, Mr. Sneed, you're...
No, don't thank me. And don't bother me with any tales of your sneaking around and playing spy. Information shouldn't be secret, it should be open and available to all. That's what libraries are for. Now, good day. All right.
Good day, Mr. Sneed. Sheesh, Stakaze, he really likes to act crabby sometimes, but he always manages to find out just the right piece of information for us. You can tell he really gets a kick out of helping out our investigations.
Huh. Well, did you find out anything? Is one of them dressed in a big trench coat? That's what spies wear, you know, and sunglasses and a hat. No, that would stand out too much.
Chill out, Uncle Basil. The only one wearing a big coat like that is me.
Exactly, Jennifer. And aren't you going around spying on the spy? See, you proved my point. Anyway, did you find anything out?
I don't know for sure, Uncle Bess. They all sound pretty convincing. We need to check some facts on Mayan ruins, Icelandic storytellers, and the Azores Islands. And we need to understand time zones and how they work, yeah.
Well, I can help you there. I can never keep them straight myself. All I really know is that all the British Isles are on the same time, Greenwich Mean Time.
Which ones are the British Isles?
So if you want to answer questions about time zones, you need to head down the Thames to Greenwich. That's where the tall ship the Katisake is moored, okay?
Good idea, Uncle Basil. We'll check it out.
Not before we check out the books. Belize is a small country on the east side, north, south, east, west, okay, of Central America, next to the Caribbean Sea. It is on the Yucatan Peninsula and is the site of many great Mayan ruins. The Mayans built a great civilization including huge cities populated by millions of people, but the civilization collapsed abruptly around 900 AD. Well, this info was correct then. We're just beginning to learn why. A former British colony, Belize gained its independence in 1981. Although the official language is English... Wait a minute. Didn't she say it's the second language? Did I remember wrongly? Many of the Belize people speak Spanish, Creole, or one of several native languages. That's strange. Iceland is an island country northeast of the British Isles. Northeast of the British Isles, okay? Near Greenland. It is considered to be part of Europe, okay? Iceland is Europe's most volcanically active land. With over 20 active volcanoes, resourcefully, Icelanders use this geothermal energy. Hot spring supplies about 80% of their home heating energy, okay? It is also a land of ice. Glaciers cover about 10% of Iceland's surface. The biggest glacier in Europe is in Iceland. Icelandic, the official language of Iceland, is very similar to the Old Norse language. Icelanders have an ancient storytelling tradition which has preserved several Old Norse sagas down through centuries. Oh. So far, he's right. Even today, sagas and Edda's old stories and legends are commonly recited aloud on radio in Iceland. Let's see the last one. The Azores Islands are thought to have been discovered by the Portuguese around the year 1427. They are still part of Portugal. Volcanic in origin, the Azores are famous for fertile soils and excellent vineyards. orchards and gardens. During the days of sailing ships, they were a welcome sight to many a seaweary sailor. Christopher Columbus left from the Azores on his voyage to the Americas in 1492. That's all? Oh boy. Let's go to Katisak. Here's a tour guide for the Kati Sark. Maybe he can answer our questions about the fabulous old ship and about time zones too. Okay. Oh, Robin, hi! Long time no see. Yes, miss, the Kati Sark. Breadth 36 feet, depth 21 feet, length 212 feet, 6 inches. Built in 1869 for Captain John Willis. In her day, she could outrun even the best steamship and looked 1,000 times more majestic. Built in 1869. 1862, I have to remember this. Okay. Steamships eventually forced her out of business and she fell on hard times, poor thing. But in 1922, she made her way back to Falmouth Harbour, where a retired master mariner named Captain Wilfred Dowman saw her. He and Mrs. Dowman set their minds to preserving her as the pinnacle of the shipbuilding art she is. Nowadays, the Katisak doesn't leave this dock, but ships of all nations cruise by and salute. Interesting. But he didn't tell us anything about time. In addition to many exhibits about sailing and the sea, the National Maritime Museum holds the Old Royal Observatory, which explains many facts about the history and importance of timekeeping. Greenwich is the reference point for the standard time used throughout the world. As you go around the world, each new time zone either adds another hour or subtracts another hour from Greenwich Mean Time. Hang on. Each new Greenwich is a reference point for the standard time used throughout the world. Is that so? As you go around the world, each new time zone? Oh. Stakaze, there's a map here that shows what time it is right now in various parts of the world. Let's look up Iceland and the Azores and France. The map shows that the Azores are one time zone west. France is one time zone east. Although Iceland is west of England, the people there set their clocks the same as England's. Oh, Iceland is out then. I think Iceland was the correct one. Definitely. Okay, so if it goes east, you plus 1, right? If you go west, then you minus 1, right? If a country is one time zone east of you, then a clock from there will read 1 hour later. North, south, east, west. What? If a country is one time zone west of you, a clock from there will read 1 hour earlier. So let's say if it's on the west side of England, it will be, let's say if it's like 12 p.m. now, if you're west, you're 1 p.m. And if you're east, you're 11 a.m. Oh, this is weird. Okay. According to this time zones map, a clock from the Azores would read 1 hour earlier than ours. If you went by it and tried to get to a 2 o'clock movie, you would actually arrive an hour late. But if you're using a clock from France, it would be exactly the opposite. You would get to your movie an hour early. This is how I figure it. I imagine the sun rising in the east. For the people in the time zone east of me, the sun has already risen. I'm confused. Okay, for people in the time zone east of me, the sun has already risen. Yeah, that's what I thought. It should have been the other way, right? It's like 1 hour earlier is to the east, not to the west. So, yeah, so like, let's say it's 12 p.m. here, then it's actually the east that should be 1 p.m. What? That was weird. Okay. But for people west of me, the sun hasn't even risen yet. It's earlier in the day for them. So if someone comes to England from one time zone east and forgets to reset their watch, they'll be early for everything. If they come from one time zone west, they'd be late. Too much calculations. Anything else outside? Okay. Here is it. Is that Mr. Erickson? One of them is a spy, but instead snuck in through France. Okay, so the person's watch should have been France. And France would be 1 hour faster, right? Alright, we have to look at the evidence. Let's try. Okay, let's see. Alright, so one of them is a spy who did not come to Britain directly from his or her own country but instead snuck in through France. We need to find somebody who snuck in through France. I need somebody to say that English weather is warm and sunny compared to Iceland's. Okay, says the soil in the Azores where he lives is volcanic and very fertile. Says that Iceland has a tradition of storytelling. Claims that Iceland's clocks are set. Was it? Maybe? I think so. Give me one moment. We need to find that. Let's verify that. Iceland. I need the time for Iceland. Although Iceland, they set their clocks. Okay. Right. Okay. Okay. So they set their clocks. Yes. Okay. France and most of Western Europe is located one time zone east of England's time zone. If a country is one time zone, it will reach 1 hour later than yours. If a country is one time zone west of you, if a country is in the same time zone that you are. Okay, we need to find France. I need to find somebody. Mr. Figueira showed up an hour early for a talk. He claims he forgot to set his watch when he flew to England from the Azores Islands. Wait. But Azores Island is... Wait, no. His watch is set 1 hour ahead of the actual time in Britain. But Azores Island is west. Azores Island is west. The Azores are west. Okay. And we need one that says that the Azores Islands, one time zone west. Okay. If a country is one time zone east. Great! Time's up for this spy. Now point out which suspect you think is the imposter. Bye.
You got it!
Okay. Mr. Figueira is our ecological intruder. The man pretending to be Mr. Figueroa was a good spy. He told us many true things about Portugal and the Azores Islands, yep. But his watch revealed that he was a liar, yep. When we met him, he had showed up an hour early for his talk because he had forgot to reset his watch. He had come from the Azores, he said, which is one time zone away from England. That's true, but it's one time zone west of England, which means you subtract an hour to find out the time there. He was an hour early because his watch added an hour. Therefore, he hadn't come from the Azores as he had said. He came from some place east of Britain like France. And one thing we knew about the spy was that he had come into the country via France. One time east of England, like the place Mr. Figueroa must have really come from. An attempt to disrupt a conference on this environment was stymied yesterday when alert detectives Stakaze Gamer and Jennifer Eagle unmasked a spy. The man, actually named Simon Reeves, was posing. Why does that sound familiar? That's a familiar name. Somehow, was posing as Mr. Figueroa, a well-known pioneer in farming techniques. Mr. Figueroa had fallen ill at the last moment and couldn't. What does it say? Miss Beamish says it takes 3 hours to beat her hair. Okay. At Tintagel. A 10. The two American detectives were apparently alerted to the deception by a misstatement made by Gravestep about time. His watch should have been off all right, Jennifer said, but it was off the wrong way. Officials at the conference were relieved that the two detectives uncovered the imposter. Thanks to the Eagle Eye Detective Agency, said attendee Miss Beamish, the conference can go on as planned. At Tintagel. Jake doesn't have enough bread. I think the seagulls think he does. Poor Jake. Alright, that ends this case. Let's just take a look at the next case, okay? We have like only two cases left. I'm gonna have to start planning what game to play next. Let me just take a look at my Steam list. I have something on my Steam list. There are some games that I can consider. For example, hang on, I can't see it. What have I done? Okay, I need to find a good one to replace Eagle Eye Mysteries. Alright, what do I have on Steam? I have Nancy Drew, Curse of Blackmore Manor, Nancy Drew Last Train to Blue Moon Canyon. Both of which, no, I've never played a single Nancy Drew game at all. I'm not sure whether I should go with that or should I go with... Well, I have Yomawari Night Alone too. I'm not sure whether... Alright, other than that, I have Everland 2. Yep, so it could be Everland, it could be one of the Nancy Drew series, it could be Yomawari Night Alone. Well, we will see. We will see when the time comes, or if there are any requests for me to play like one of these games that I've just listed, I will consider it. So until the next time, thank you for watching and goodbye.